Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in for another episode. Today, I've got the one and only Sara with me.
Hello.
And I wanted to bring her in because this weekend, we went to the St. Jude's tournament over in Wabasha, Minnesota. It's the Dick Hiley St. Jude fundraiser, and it was a really eye-opening experience for both of us. Like, I'm so happy we went. You know, I was at Lake Eufaula for my Bass Pro Tour event. I did not make the cut. So that means I got home late Friday night, woke up in the morning, and Sara says, hey, let's drive over and see Miles, who was fishing the St. Jude's tournament with my brother-in-law, Sara's brother, Scott. So let's drive over. It's a couple hours away and just stop in and say hi. Make a family weekend out of it, and have a good time.
Yeah, we had nothing going on, and we were trying to figure out what to do, and I went on a walk, and I don't normally check Instagram when I'm taking a walk because I like to take in nature, but for some reason I was on Instagram, and I saw Matt Pangrack say how he pulled an all-nighter and just rolled into Wabasha for the tournament, and I was like, oh, that's right, Scott and Miles are fishing. I came back, and I was like, I have an idea of what we could do. And he was like, I can't believe I didn't think of this. So we packed up. That was like 8. The boys had just gotten up. We hadn't made breakfast. They were still in their PJs. And we put it into high mode, and we were out of here by like 9:15.
Yeah,
so,
we, I mean, we weren't in a rush to get there for weigh-in.
No.
I mean, we went and had lunch at Slippery's, which is the restaurant where Grumpy Old Men was filmed, so that was kind of cool. And then we went to Lark's Toy Store, which is a crazy toy store that, you know, the kids would love to go back to. And then we went over to the weigh-in, and like right off the bat, we were very, very welcomed. You know, we were still waiting for the boats to come in, but they had, I was not expecting to see the setup that they had. They had a full-blown stage. They had a giant big screen set up in the crowd. Yamaha was there with their full tractor trailer full of motors. You know, there were a bunch of other sponsors as well.
Wenzel Farms were there giving out beef sticks.
Yeah, there were a bunch of big companies that were there to support this cause. And right off the bat, we talked with several of the St. Jude's people. You know, I think, is that when we met Gretchen for the first time?
No, we met her right before the banquet in the lobby.
Oh yeah, at the hotel.
Yeah.
So that's right. So basically we got there, we didn't even know we were going to stay overnight. We ended up, you know, when we were at lunch going, you know what, let's see if we can get a hotel room. I didn't think we would be able to because the town only really has one hotel. But we were able to get a hotel room. And, you know, we surprised Scott and Miles when they pulled in. They had a decent bag. There were a lot of good weights. It's a 6-fish tournament. A lot of weights in that 20 to 23 pound range. So it's a really good fishery. And when we went over there, I had the idea that we were going to be supporting Miles and Scott. I mean, we really went to see them. And while we were there, we were very welcomed by everybody who invited us to come to the banquet as well. So they have a big banquet on the Saturday night. So it's after the first day of the tournament. All the anglers go over there, anglers' families. And it's a very moving banquet.
Yeah, I mean the tournament it's a fishing tournament, but it's all about St. Jude. And truly, you see the commercials on TV with Marlo Thomas or whatever, and she's always like this, you know, the face behind St. Jude, but I never really knew much about St. Jude until Miles and Katie and Riley are now in treatment there. And so I learned a lot more at the banquet about the history of St. Jude, and, you know, that was Marlo Thomas's dad that started it, and just how they, you know, even Miles is talking about how they do everything for you. They take you in, doesn't matter your economic status, you know, where you're from, you know, they'll take you in and they pay for everything, you know, for all the treatment for the kids who are undergoing treatment for cancer, to flying family members in to support the parents and the family, and it's just crazy. So we learned a lot at the banquet, but it was also extraordinarily heart-wrenching because you're there to celebrate how wonderful this tournament organization is in raising funds for St. Jude's, but then you see these kids and you hear the stories of the, of the ones that do well and then the ones that don't always.
Yeah, I guess so with the banquet, they always have a family that have had used...
Undergone treatment.
Yeah, undergone treatment. And in some cases, the family is there with a child that has recovered, and it's because of St. Jude's. And in other instances, it could be a family that's in the middle of getting treatment at St. Jude's. And in this case, we had a family where they actually lost their son. But it's such a weird feeling because you're there in celebration, really, of the tournament and how good St. Jude's is. In this case, they raised $852,000, I believe. 87 teams, $852,000.
It's wild, you guys. I mean, they gave out awards for like the top fundraisers for this year. They gave out awards for like lifetime because was it 21st or something?
Yeah.
So like they had screenshots of like the top fundraisers over the years. I mean, we're talking
Millions.
to the tune of $250,000 for teams, for lifetime. I mean, last year alone, they raised $1 million at a single event, which is just in Wabasha, Minnesota. I mean, it's not even like a big city. It's insane the amount of money that they're raising.
There were several teams that raised over $50,000.
Yeah.
And as soon as this event ends, they go right back into fundraising mode for next year. And that's what was so weird for me. Like, you're at the banquet, you want to celebrate the hard work that everyone's done, but then you're reminded by the families that are there, or just through the discussions, of the speakers that were there because of kids that are going through pain. I mean, so it's like it's a very emotional roller coaster. I don't know that anybody had a dry eye.
No.
I mean, there were a lot of tears flowing. And I mean, it was hard to sit through, but then you had to remember all of the good that was being done. So, I went there with the idea that we were going to go support Miles.
Yeah.
Say hi to him, have a little family weekend trip away.
We honestly didn't even know there was a banquet.
Yeah,
I packed a shirt so that we could go to dinner with Scott and Miles. And then we were like, well, if we can't get a hotel, we'll just come home.
Yeah.
And
instead,
thankfully it didn't happen that way because, oh my gosh, the weekend was just, it was great.
Yeah, it was such an eye-opening weekend because, the following... So we hung out with a bunch of people from the banquet, got to hang out with, old friends, new friends, meet the St. Jude staff, spent a lot of time with Gretchen and Katie, who are they're like the heads of the fundraising. I got to see a lot of anglers, local anglers I haven't seen in a long time. Got to see Maddie Pangrack, got to see Miles. Like, it was a really fun time. We ended up going to Takeoff the next morning, got the kids up early. There was flyover that happened. That was cool. It's just a full event. So we went there. We kind of crashed the party in a way.
We really kind of did. And it's funny because I mean, how many tournaments have you been in? And I've been dozens. Even if it's a local tournament, there is a competitive spirit where it's like cutthroat. Like, I want to do better than that guy, or I can't believe they caught that, or whatever. And this tournament was like. It was like camaraderie. It was like, we're gonna go out and I want to win this tournament, but it was just like this, like the whole tournament was like enveloped in like a cloud of like love. Almost.
Yeah, it was a really different feeling for a tournament.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a first place prize. If you raise over $5,000 as a team, you qualify for the $25,000 first place prize if you win. So there is major
incentives.
Competition. Like, this is a tournament. If you live in the upper Midwest, this is like the feather in your cap. You win this event, you've done something. But in reality, it's not about the tournament. This is so much about the support that the anglers come together and do. And I walked away, I know Sara walked away as well. We've had so many discussions as to like, what can we do now? Like, this is something we want to be involved in every year. I know my schedule kind of dictates where I'm at within the country, but even if I can't fish the event, I want to fundraise for the event. Like
Yeah.
we want to do all this stuff. So I'm just going to point this out now and let you guys know that this is going to be something that you'll see on the channel on a regular basis. I'm going to ask you guys out there to help donate too, because this is such a good cause, not just for the kids, but for the families. You know, when you go to a hospital that's so encompassing like this, where the child gets the best treatment possible, and then at the same time you're talking about the family members who are, in a lot of cases, I think they have a harder time than the child has dealing with it. They have the support that they need. And it's not necessarily even just for like actual treatment. You know, they told us at the banquet, one of the speakers talked about how, I believe it was a South American country that has almost a 0% survival rate for kids with cancer.
I think it was 3 years ago or
Yeah,
something. It was within the last 5 years. They called, it was a hospital in El Salvador?
Peru,
No, it wasn't Peru. Anyways, doesn't matter. They literally had they had a 0% survival chance. So if your child was diagnosed with cancer in that country, you were guaranteed not to have your child live. And so St. Jude's went in and installed video conferencing. And within 3 years, they have a 50% survival rate now.
And that's just simply because St. Jude's put the money towards setting them up technologically with video conferencing
so they could
that
ask questions.
Their doctors could talk to St. Jude's doctors, which are like the front of the line best doctors when it comes to children's
setting treatments,
cancer.
setting protocols. Yeah.
You know, from that standpoint, it's like how many other countries need that as well?
Yeah.
And that's, so the money goes to a lot of different places. But
the money from the tournament all goes to St. Jude. That's the thing.
Well, it all goes, but that's whether St. Jude uses it to help kids in another country or uses it to help kids.
What I'm saying is there's so many organizations that money then goes to, it gets skimmed off and only part of it goes. The money that gets raised at that tournament, at the Dick Hiley tournament, goes to St. Jude.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm going to be calling on you guys as much as myself. I've got some things, really good ideas. I need to talk to Gretchen at St. Jude's to even make sure that like they would be on board with it. I got to talk to some other people to help.
I don't know why they wouldn't.
Well, I don't know if I can just use the logo. I don't know, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
So like there's a lot. I mean, this is only a couple of days past. 2 days past.
I was gonna say this is the BTL shirt that we bought.
Yeah.
We didn't get it in time for the the actual tournament. We got it yesterday.
It came yesterday.
But we're
2
wearing
days
it now.
After, yeah.
But we might have to have our own T-shirt, that you guys purchase, and then proceeds go to our fundraising efforts. So
anyways, we wanted to talk to you guys, let you know about our extremely positive weekend at the Dick Hiley St. Jude's fundraising tournament over in Wabasha. You will continue to hear it from me. I really want to help make a difference with this. Like, I think this is something that is so beneficial for the kids out there.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'm behind you.
You're on board?
I'm on board.
All right.
Let's make a difference
with
exactly. Our opportunity.
We have the ability to do it. We've got the platform to make a small difference, so we're going to utilize it.
Any bit is better than nothing.
Every dollar counts, as they were saying multiple times at the meeting. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. I appreciate all of you out there. Let's just when I call on you, I'm asking for a favor. And that will be to help support St. Jude's. And that time will be coming. You'll hear more about all of this in the future.